I'm proud to introduce my friend and Maxwell Leadership thought leader, Jeff Henderson, to deliver today's word. Jeff was named by Forbes magazine as one of the 20 speakers you shouldn't miss because his career experience includes working in marketing for the Atlanta Braves, as well as several years at Chick-fil-A, where Chairman Dan Cathy once told me that Jeff was one of the 5 best employees the company ever had. It is my pleasure to toss it to Jeff Henderson.
Thank you, John. It's always an honor to be here with Minute with Maxwell. And today's word's a really important word. It's a personal word, and that's the word identity. And I totally understand this. In fact, I've got to be careful of this in my own life. But sometimes what we do becomes who we are. Okay, so what we do becomes who we are. And it's so intertwined, and I totally get that. And this makes really a lot of sense. But here's the problem when your identity is wrapped up in what you do. When what you do is who you are, you're not when you're no longer doing that. Let me say that again. In other words, when you stop doing that and that becomes your identity, you have an identity crisis. So you've got to hold your role with open hands, because at some point, someone else will take your role. Someone else will be the leader of that particular business. Someone else will be doing what you're doing now. And when that identity is taken away, it's always going to hurt. It's always going to pull away. But the more that you can hold this position lightly, the better it's going to be for you in the long term, but also the better it's going to be for you in the short term, because our identity should not be wrapped up in what we do. It's a part of who we are, but ultimately it's not who we are. So my question for you today is, if I were to ask you, what level is your identity wrapped up in what you do and who you are? And when you pull that away someday, by the way, it will be pulled away. Will the break be incredibly painful, or will it be open-handed to go, you know what? I was a good steward of this opportunity. I was here for 3, 5, 10 years, whatever it may be. Now it's someone else's role, and that's okay, because that was a part of my identity then, but it's not who I am. There are other things about my identity. So how much of your identity is wrapped up in what you do? And if it's 80, 90%, come on, the warning light on your dashboard and your emotional life, it should be blinking and saying danger. And one of the ways that we figure this out is to ask people about this. Do you think my identity is too wrapped up in who I am and what I do? And continue to add value to people and think about this. It's not about me. It's about them. And that's one of the best ways that you can make sure that your identity is not wrapped up in what you do, but who you serve.